Hey there, fellow Americans. Breaking news that's got everyone talking. Donald Trump's dramatic return to the White House is making waves with a massive $2.4 billion stimulus package, and those 2,950 checks are hitting bank accounts starting January 24, 2025. Before we dive deep into this game-changing announcement, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on the latest political and economic news affecting your wallet. In a stunning move that sent shockwaves through Washington and Wall Street alike, President Trump's administration has wasted no time implementing one of the most ambitious economic stimulus plans in recent history. The question on everyone's mind is, how will this massive injection of funds impact the average American family? Well, we're about to break it all down for you, and trust me, you won't want to miss this. The stimulus package, officially dubbed the American Economic Revival Act, marks Trump's first major policy initiative since retaking office. This bold move comes as a direct response to what Trump has repeatedly called economic mismanagement by the previous administration. But here's what makes this different from previous stimulus efforts. The speed and scale of implementation are unprecedented. The 201,950 checks aren't just another campaign promise. They're becoming a reality faster than anyone expected. Let's talk numbers because they're staggering. The $2.4 billion package isn't just about direct payments to Americans. It's a carefully crafted economic strategy that's already causing heated debates among economists and political analysts. But what does this mean for you? If you're like most Americans, you're probably wondering if you qualify for these payments and, more importantly, how soon you can expect to see that money in your account. The eligibility criteria for these stimulus checks are notably different from previous programs. Unlike past stimulus efforts, this new package has expanded the qualifying income thresholds, potentially reaching millions more Americans than before. Single filers earning up to $95,000 annually and joint filers making up to $190,000 will be eligible for the full amount. But here's where it gets interesting. The phase-out structure has been redesigned to provide partial payments to those earning even more, extending benefits to what Trump calls the forgotten middle class. One of the most controversial aspects of this stimulus package is its funding mechanism. The administration claims it will be fully funded through a combination of corporate tax adjustments and spending cuts in what Trump describes as wasteful government programs. Critics argue about the long-term implications for the national debt, but supporters point to projected economic growth that they believe will offset these concerns. The question remains, is this sustainable? Or are we mortgaging our future for short-term gains? The timing of these payments is particularly noteworthy. January 24, 2025 isn't just another random date. It's strategically chosen to coincide with what many economists predict will be a critical period for the American economy. But why this specific timing? Sources close to the administration suggest it's part of a larger economic strategy designed to stimulate consumer spending during the traditionally slower post-holiday period. The distribution process itself is being streamlined through a new digital system developed in partnership with major financial institutions. This means most eligible Americans won't need to take any action to receive their payments. They'll be automatically deposited based on the most recent tax information available to the IRS. For those without direct deposit information on file, physical checks will be mailed out starting February 1, 2025. But here's what many people aren't talking about: the hidden implications of this stimulus package. Beyond the immediate impact of putting cash in people's pockets, this move signals a significant shift in economic policy. The administration is essentially betting big on the multiplier effect, the idea that each dollar of stimulus will generate more than a dollar in economic activity. Will this gamble pay off? Or are we setting ourselves up for increased inflation? The global markets have already started reacting to this announcement. International investors are closely watching how this massive injection of capital will affect the US dollar and global trade relationships. Some financial analysts predict this could lead to a substantial boost in consumer confidence and spending, potentially triggering a domino effect of economic growth across various sectors. Small businesses are particularly interested in the secondary effects of this stimulus. With consumers having more disposable income, local economies could see a significant boost. But the question remains, will people spend this money, save it, or use it to pay down existing debt? The answer to this question could determine the ultimate success or failure of this economic initiative. The package also includes several lesser-known provisions that could have far-reaching effects. For instance, there are incentives for businesses that increase domestic manufacturing and penalties for companies that continue to outsource jobs. This aspect of the stimulus plan aligns with Trump's long-standing America First economic policy. But how will it affect international trade relationships and domestic prices? Critics of the plan point to potential inflationary pressures and the risk of overheating the economy. Some economists warn that injecting such a large amount of money into the economy could lead to price increases that could offset the benefits of the stimulus payments. However, supporters argue that the timing and structure of the package have been carefully calibrated to minimize these risks. The role of the Federal Reserve in this economic experiment cannot be overlooked. How will they respond to this fiscal stimulus? Their monetary policy decisions in the coming months could either amplify or dampen the effects of these stimulus payments. The interaction between fiscal and monetary policy will be crucial in determining the long-term impact of this initiative. One particularly interesting aspect of this stimulus package is its potential effect on the housing market. With many Americans receiving substantial checks, real estate experts are divided on whether this could fuel another housing boom or help stabilize markets that have been experiencing volatility. Will this extra cash flow into the housing market, and if so, what might that mean for home prices and availability? The package also includes provisions for debt relief and credit protection. Though these aspects have received less media attention, these measures could provide significant benefits for Americans struggling with student loans, medical debt, or credit card balances. But how will these provisions affect lending institutions and credit markets in the long run? The impact on state and local governments is another crucial consideration. While the federal stimulus provides direct payments to individuals, how will it affect state budgets and local economic development plans? Some governors are already announcing complementary state-level initiatives to maximize the impact of the federal stimulus. The technology sector is preparing for what many expect to be a surge in consumer spending on electronics and digital services. Major retailers and e-commerce platforms are already adjusting their inventory and marketing strategies in anticipation of increased consumer activity. But will this lead to sustainable growth or just a temporary spike in sales? Environmental groups have raised concerns about the potential impact of increased consumer spending on carbon emissions and resource consumption. How does this stimulus package balance economic growth with environmental sustainability? This debate highlights the ongoing tension between immediate economic needs and long-term environmental considerations. The effect on the job market could be substantial. With businesses potentially seeing increased consumer spending, will this translate into more jobs and higher wages? The administration projects significant job growth as a result of the stimulus, but skeptics question whether these gains will be sustainable. Education and healthcare sectors are watching closely to see how this influx of money might affect their industries. Will Americans use some of these funds for medical procedures they've been postponing, or invest in education and training? The answers could have long-lasting implications for these crucial sectors. The stimulus package's impact on retirement savings and investment patterns is another area of interest. Financial advisors are busy helping clients determine the best use of these funds, whether to invest, save, or spend. This could lead to significant shifts in personal financial planning strategies across the country. Social service organizations and charities are preparing for potential changes in donation patterns and community support needs. Will Americans, feeling more financially secure, be more generous with charitable giving, or will the stimulus reduce the demand for social services? These organizations are developing strategies to adapt to whatever changes may come. The political implications of this stimulus package cannot be ignored. How will this massive economic intervention affect public opinion and political dynamics leading up to future elections? The success or failure of this program could have significant consequences for both major political parties. As we look ahead to the actual distribution of these payments, many practical questions remain. How will the IRS handle the logistics of such a massive payment program? What measures are in place to prevent fraud and ensure the money reaches its intended recipients? The administration claims to have implemented robust security measures, but the scale of the operation presents significant challenges. The international perspective on this stimulus package is particularly fascinating. How will America's trading partners respond to this massive domestic stimulus? Will it influence international economic policies or prompt similar measures in other countries? The global economic implications could be far-reaching. The role of media and public communication in this stimulus rollout is crucial. How will Americans learn about their eligibility and payment status? The administration has promised transparency and regular updates, but the effectiveness of their communication strategy will be vital to the program's success. Looking beyond the immediate impact, this stimulus package could set precedents for future economic interventions. Will this become a new template for handling economic challenges? Or will it be viewed as an exceptional response to unique circumstances? The long-term implications for economic policy could be significant. The psychological impact of these stimulus payments on consumer confidence and behavior patterns is another interesting aspect to consider. Will this boost in disposable income lead to lasting changes in spending habits, or will it be treated as a one-time windfall? The answer could affect economic projections and business strategies for years to come. As we monitor the rollout of these payments, it's important to remember that economic policies of this magnitude often have unforeseen consequences. Will this stimulus package achieve its intended goals of economic revival and financial relief for Americans? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. This is a historic moment in American economic policy that will be studied and debated for years to come. Remember to subscribe to our channel for ongoing coverage of this developing story, including detailed analyses of the stimulus package's impact, expert interviews, and real-time updates as the payments begin rolling out. Hit that like button if you found this information helpful, and share this video with friends and family who might benefit from knowing about these upcoming stimulus payments. Drop your thoughts and questions in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective on this massive economic initiative. And there you have it. A comprehensive look at Trump's first major economic policy move since returning to office. Stay tuned for more updates as the story continues to develop. This is just the beginning of what promises to be a fascinating chapter in American economic history. Until next time, keep watching for more breaking news and in-depth analysis of the stories that matter most to you and your wallet.